Hello, biology class. I wanted to take just a couple of minutes to help you with an assignment you have this week called the biomolecule grid. So if you, well, when you log into the class by now, you certainly know you need to go to start working to do your work. So start working. We're in week 2 of the energy drink unit. And then the assignment is called the biomolecule grid. Now, I've written out instructions that are fairly clear, I think, on what I expect in this assignment. But I want to spend just a little bit of time kind of helping you get started. We'll look at the first molecule and see if we can get some blanks filled in correctly. So how you ought to do this, and I have several of these assignments that are done this way, is just download the document and then click enable so that you can edit, and then just type your answers directly into the document. I mean, I suppose you could download and print it off and write them in, but that's an extra bit of work for you. And then sometimes it's difficult for me to read what you've got in there. So I think the best way would be to do it this way. So when you look at the information that's required for each molecule, be sure and as it says here, pay close attention. In the first column, you're going to need elements of each molecule, and you're going to need the names of the monomers and polymers for each of the molecules. So that's all in the first column. In the second column, it says list the function of both the monomer and the polymer. So you're not going to be listing one function. You're going to list at least 2 functions, one for the monomer and polymer, because they do, I suppose, most of the time do something different. In the third column, you can list different locations where this molecule is found within the body, or in particularly, if you want to say within a cell. And in the fourth column, you're going to be listing examples in both body and food. So don't just list examples in food or just in the body, but there's going to be several examples of each. Okay, so let's go back to our grid. So the first molecule is carbs or carbohydrates. And so, just click on the box and it asks for elements. So what elements are in carbs? Now, of course, all this information is found in your text. So, I mean, yeah, you could Google. I think sometimes students just go straight to Google and you may find the correct information. Sometimes you don't find the correct information, but all of this is in the text. And so if you get it from the text, it's going to be good. So it says elements. So you could put just the chemical symbol or the first letter of each of these, or you could type it out. But so what's in carbs? Well, carbon is in carbs. So you would list carbon. What else is in carbs? Hydrogen. Hydrogen. So you could put a capital C or a capital H. And then lastly, oxygen is in carbs. So those 3 elements. So in this first column where it says elements, you got to list those 3. And then you got to do that. I won't do the rest of the molecules for you, but you got to do that for each molecule. So you're going to list all of the elements that are in lipids, all of the elements that are in proteins, all of the elements that are in nucleic acids. And they are very similar as you go through, but make sure you list them for each one. Then the next thing you're going to list is the names of the monomers and polymers. So ideally you would put monomer, and then you could put the name. So what is the monomer of carbs? Now you could put monosaccharide. So mono means one, saccharide means sugar. So you could just type in monosaccharide. And then a polymer would be a polysaccharide. Or you could put in the particular name for each. that we find in humans certainly, and well in other animals. But a monomer is glucose. Glucose is the monomer. And what's a polymer? That's when you stick several glucoses together, more than two, and you get these long chains of sugars. And so glycogen would be one that's stored in the body. Okay, I won't type those in, but you do need to list elements as I've done, and then monomers and polymers. Okay. Then for function, you're gonna list both monomers and polymers. So you're gonna have monomer, and you're gonna put in function for monomer, and then you're gonna put in that function, and you're gonna type polymer, and you're gonna put in a function for a polymer. Okay, so you're gonna have two different functions. So what do these do? What do carbs do in the body? So again, I don't want to answer too many of them because you're going to look these up. But a monomer, glucose, well, that's blood sugar. I mean, monomers in the body provide energy. That's a primary source of energy for your cells are these carbs. And polymer is used for different things, but one of those could be you could put stored energy. Okay, but the key is you're going to list a function for a monomer and a function for a polymer, and you're going to do that for each molecule. Where can it be found in the cell or body? So again, list several examples here. So you can find glucose within the cell. You can find glucose within blood sugar. If you're a diabetic, you certainly are aware of glucose levels and probably something that you monitor. And in examples in the body. So sometimes students will just list examples that are in food, or they'll just list examples in the body, but it says examples in the body and foods. So you should have in each of these columns a list of several foods that contain carbs that are primarily carbs, maybe. So what would be some examples of foods that are primarily carbs? I don't know, bread comes to mind right away for me. Grains are almost exclusively carbs. So bread, pasta, fruit has a lot of carb. You could put, food like candy bars, a Snickers or something, almost exclusively carb. And then examples in the body. So what are you going to find in the body? Well, glucose, blood sugar. Glycogen is stored in the liver and in muscles. So you'll list examples for both food and body. So make sure you do that for each of these molecules, and you'll do well. Okay, well, good luck. I hope that goes smoothly for you, and let me know if you have any questions.